there, friends. It is 6 a.m. on this Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Shannon Curtis.
And I'm Tim Pham. Good to see you, friends. It's going to be a warm Wednesday. You're going to want the sunnies today, the sunglasses and sunscreen too.
Yes.
Because it's going to be a nice one. Hey there, Thomas. Good morning. Just how warm is it going to get?
Yeah, good morning, Tim, Channing, and all of you at home. It should be near 80 degrees today. And yes, I did bring my sunglasses. They're out in the car. I'll need them a bit later on for today. But the sun is already out. Temperature is still holding in the low 50s right now. And at 51, that should be about our low temperature for the day. The observation says cloudy, but that's just high-level cloud cover. So the sun is going to be able to shine through that. So maybe just filtered sunshine at worst for this morning. 52 degrees as well in Coeur d'Alene. Still a few cool spots to our north. 41 in Colville, one of the cooler spots in the inland northwest. So I'll call filtered sunshine, maybe partly cloudy or mostly sunny all day long today. No weather issues whatsoever because our high temperatures are still topping out in the upper 70s to near 80.
All right, let's take a look at traffic conditions right now. We're taking a look at I-90 and Pines at this time. Right now, no real delays or anything to report, which is always a good thing. And just a reminder this morning that you can always check out krem.com/traffic for the very latest updates on traffic issues going on in our area. And of course, we'll keep you updated this morning on Up with KREM on if anything changes.
New in the last 12 hours, a major shakeup in the Moses Lake School District. Last night, the school board voted to place Superintendent Monty Sabin on administrative leave. The Columbia Basin Herald reports this all comes as 100 teachers are facing layoffs because of a massive accounting error. The school district says it has a budget shortfall of $20 million. Part of that is an accounting error that made the district think it had $11 million more than it actually had. Voters in Moses Lake also said no to 2 recent levies for the school district. That would have made up another $4 million. The district blames inflation and a reduction in local, regional, and state assistance for the rest of the deficit.
Well, new this morning, President Joe Biden is calling out former President Donald Trump, demanding a pair of debates. Biden posted this video on X just about an hour ago. The president says that Trump lost 2 debates to him in 2020, and since then, he hasn't shown up for a debate. Now, Biden says that he will not participate in the campaign debates that are sponsored by a nonpartisan commission. Now, Trump did not participate in any 2024 GOP primary debates. He did repeatedly cite his lead in polling over his challengers. Last month, his campaign senior advisors asked for the general election debates to begin earlier in order to account for early voting periods. In the meantime, Michael Cohen is once again expected back on the stand tomorrow in former President Trump's hush money trial. Cohen is Trump's former attorney. Yesterday, Trump's defense team attempted to paint Cohen's testimony as vengeance. Earlier this week, he told the jury that Trump was personally involved in a plan to give hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. Trump has denied the encounter and pleaded not guilty in this trial.
The Department of Justice says Boeing violated a settlement made after 2 deadly crashes involving its 737 MAX planes. This means the company could now face possible criminal charges. Prosecutors from the DOJ say a decision will be made on July 7 on whether or not they'll move forward and pursue charges of fraud against Boeing. The agency opened a criminal investigation into an incident in January after a door plug ripped away from a 737 MAX jet about 7 minutes into a flight. The original violation stems from 2 deadly crashes involving Boeing 737 MAX aircrafts in 2018 in Indonesia and in 2019 in Ethiopia, which killed 346 people combined. In January 2021, Boeing agreed to pay $2.5 billion to avoid criminal charges that allege the company defrauded regulators about the aircraft. Yesterday, the department determined Boeing violated that 2021 agreement and may file charges against the company.
There will be some transparency now associated with the review of the criminal conduct, and if justified, then the Justice Department should take action.
Boeing now has until June 13th to respond to the DOJ. The company released a statement in response saying in part it believes it held up its end of the deal and looks forward to responding to the DOJ.
The Latah Valley area could see another building moratorium. It would be the second one in the last few years. Now, the proposed city council ordinance would establish a one-year moratorium on subdivision applications for unplanted property in the Latah, Hangman, and Grandview neighborhoods. Now, city documents show that one of the reasons behind this proposal is a lack of fire protection resources.
In that time, develop a plan, get your funding, define your plan, get things started. 6 years down the road, we might get a fire department. Is not good enough.
The proposed ordinance is set to be read at Monday's city council meeting. Well, today, students at Linwood Elementary School will be celebrating National Bike Month with a new program called Let's Go.
Yeah, KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is live at the school right now. So, Brandon, tell us more about what are the students looking forward to. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, well, we made our way outside, and first off, let's give a shout out to Mrs. Z because look at all this right here behind us. Look at this beautiful course that she set up. I told her this is kind of like a driver ed's course, but for, I mean, technically it's driving a bike, right? Riding a bike. Well, so Mrs. Z, can you talk to us a little bit about, what we see back here?
Okay, well, what you see back here is when the students come out to ride their bikes, they line up at these cones here, and then I tell them what the lesson is for the day. So today's lesson is right of way.
Yeah.
So over here in the middle, we've got a three-way stop sign, right of way, and so they're going to learn, walkers go first, whoever gets there first, then they go, and then if they both get there at the same time, person on the right goes first. So we're going to teach that today. Also, they learn hand signals. So up here at the top, there is a yield sign. So they learn that when they get to the yield sign, to make sure they slow down and do their stop signal if cars are coming, bikes are coming across the top, and then turning right or left, and they learn all those signals. So it's great. I mean, they learn all these rules, and they love it.
And for you, Paul, right, we were talking about that bike safety. You talked about how you've had many years of experience riding in Seattle, and there's lots of traffic over there. That's why I'm holding these helmets. I'm not just holding the helmets for any reason, right? That's a part of the bike safety, and that's a part of the Let's Go program, right, in terms of teaching these students. So can you talk about a little bit about bike safety and why it's also important, learning it as you hop on one of those?
Absolutely. We recommend that everybody wear your helmet. So we're always trying to teach kids to, as a habit, whenever you're riding your bike, put that helmet on. And so as part of the program, the schools, Linwood and the other schools, I believe there are 8 in Spokane now that are getting this bike education curriculum. They get the helmets, they get fleets of bicycles. And so I think for health and fitness instructors like Fiona, it's sort of they have to set up the cones and stuff, but we try to make it so that it's a real package where they have the bikes, the helmets, the lesson plans, and everything. And so Fiona can just concentrate on the teaching. And yes, bike safety is a really important subject that we like to focus on now across Washington State, because unfortunately there have been, we're in this sort of what they're calling a traffic safety crisis where unfortunately, people are crashing into people on bikes, pedestrians, and so teaching kids how to ride safely is really important.
And that goes in line with National Bike Safety Month, right? And, celebrating Bike to Work Week and all of that, right? We're celebrating that an entire month, and, that's why it's important to have teachers like yourself and, educators like yourself, letting us know about biking safe. So we appreciate you, and maybe next time we'll get on the course and see how we do. So we appreciate you, and we'll toss it back to you all in the studio.
Looks like a complicated course. I wish you the best of luck, Brandon. Beautiful day for a bike ride and pretty much anything else outdoors today. What we're seeing on the satellite imagery here is a bit of cloud cover that's drifting overhead. However, as we see above our heads from our outdoor weather center, it's all just high, thin cirrus clouds. It's kind of an oddity with the infrared satellite imagery is that the thinnest of cloud cover actually plots the best on the map, whereas the low cloud cover, like say fog, actually doesn't appear quite as easily. So it's kind of like backwards. It looks really white, it looks thick, but it's actually the thinnest of cloud cover that we're seeing right now. And the sun is going to be able to shine easily through that and get those temperatures into the upper 70s and close to 80 degrees today. These next 2 days quite warm, but Friday onwards a bit cooler thanks to a cold front. So we're going to cover when that arrives and how windy the end of the week is going to be. Those details are in just a few minutes.